Hi my loves, welcome back. Today's video is going to be an eyeshadow for beginners. So I know that you guys have seen me apply my eyeshadow like a million times in my makeup tutorials and get ready with me's, but I feel like if you're a beginner, it's kind of hard to keep up with. It can be really overwhelming just because I'm going so quick. When I'm doing the voiceover, I'm showing you guys the clips of me doing the eyeshadow in just within a few seconds. So I wanted to do a step-by-step eyeshadow tutorial for beginners, kind of like showing you an everyday neutral smoky eye like the look that I'm wearing today. Obviously you can skip out on lashes and winged liner and just do mascara, but it's all up to you, your personal preference. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I wanted to use all affordable products because I know when I was a beginner in makeup, that's all I used to use. So I think that's all I have to say. Hope you guys enjoy it, and if you want to know how I get this eyeshadow look, then just keep watching. Alright, so before jumping right into everything, let's talk about what you're going to need. So you're going to need some makeup brushes. These are all very affordable. You can get them at Walmart or Target. The first brush that is essential is a blending brush. This one is one of the best ones that I've ever used from the drugstore. It's very comparable to like the Sigma E40, which is one of my favorites, and it's like a quarter of the price. It's like $6 at Walmart. It's the Live and Breathe JuicyJas blending brush. Absolutely amazing, and I'll leave a link below to where you guys can pick this brush up, but it's going to be crucial to blending your eyeshadow out. Next, I got these two Equal Tool brushes in a pack, and they were like $6 or $7 again at Walmart. I really love these because you kind of get 4 brushes for like the price of one, so you really can't beat it. This first one has a blending side and it has a smudger side, and then you have a flat shader side and a definer side, which you could use for your eyebrows or eyeshadow, anything. So those brushes are awesome and they're super soft. Then last but not least, you're going to need an e.l.f. contour brush. This one's from Target. It's one of my favorite brushes for smudging eyeshadow on the lower lashes. It makes it super simple. Next, what you're going to need are some eyeshadow primers. Now, you have options. One of my favorite methods to use is just concealer, because it not only gives you a good eyeshadow base, but it also conceals any discoloration or veins. Or you could also just use a regular primer. This was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus primer. I picked this up at Target. I've really been enjoying it lately. It kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Primer Potion. It has like the same consistency. It begins to come really soft when you apply it on your lids, and then it kind of gets a little tacky and ready for your shadow. So it's really up to you with what you want to use. And then of course you're going to need an eyeshadow palette of your choice. I recently discovered this NYC Lovelies by Demi palette, and it's literally a mini naked palette. Look how beautiful the colors are. I'm very impressed just because it's really hard to find eyeshadows at the drugstore like this that have mattes and shimmers, and this one has it all. And this palette retails for like $7. I got it at Target. It's absolutely amazing, and you can see that the colors aren't exactly like the naked palette, but they're very similar. I think the pigmentation of this palette is amazing quality, and I think this is just a really overall good palette for an everyday neutral look because you just can't go wrong with the colors in here. My first tip for you when doing your shadow is to do your eyebrows first. I think it helps a ton. It gives you a good framework for what you're going to be working with and just a good base for your shadows. So brows, get them done. So as you can see, my lids are discolored, so I'm going to be applying concealer today. This is my favorite method for primer because you can't go wrong with it. So I'm going to be just applying that and then just blending it out with my finger. You want to make sure when you're applying your primer to bring it all the way up to your brow bone, because that's where we're also going to be applying eyeshadow. I almost forgot, you are going to need some sticky tape. I just got this one from like the Dollar Tree. So the tape is great, and I am going to be applying it on the back of my hand, by the way, a few times just so it doesn't get too harsh around my eyes and it's kind of like less tacky. So what I'm going to do is line the tape up with the arch of my eyebrow and then just apply it. The tape method is really good because not only is it going to give you a crisp line when you're done, but it will prevent you from applying too much eyeshadow on the outer part of your eye, like going too far out. So if you're a beginner, this is a great tip. I would definitely do this if you are just starting out with eyeshadow. So to start out, I'm going to be using this light brown shade with my blending brush, the Live and Breathe Beauty one. This is a really good like cool tone soft brown color. So this is a really important step. Doing a transition color is going to help you to blend out the other colors that you're going to be using. So a lot of you always ask me what's the point of it, but you don't want to have a really light shimmery color on your lid and then like a black shadow in the crease with nothing in between to blend that out. You want it to almost be like an ombre gradient effect. You want it to go from light to dark in a really nice natural blended way. I also recommend tapping off any excess product that you have, because if you go in really heavy-handed with your eyeshadow, it's going to be really hard to blend as you go. So start out with a little bit of product at a time and then build it up as you go. Okay, so when applying eyeshadow in your crease, what you're going to do is you're going to start out in the outer corner and you're going to work your way in. Once you're in to the crease, and by the way, your crease is like the socket of your eye. So if you're looking straight ahead, that line right here, that's your crease. So what you're going to do with this color is you want to just kind of do back and forth windshield wiper motions. You're going just back and forth, and you're just going to blend that in. You want most of the product to be focused on the outer part, and then with the extra product that you have on your brush, you can put it towards the center. But since this is like a neutral everyday smoky eye, you want to keep the look very bright and awake, and you don't want to drag too much dark product into the inner part of your eye because it can really close your eyes up. So again, just do windshield wiper motions, back and forth, back and forth. There's really no like trick to it. It's all about your hand and your wrist and how you're using it. So if you're going like this is the motion that you're going to be making with your hand. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, the same thing goes for the other eye. You just want to start and kind of gradually blend it in. And you really don't have to press too hard either, because these shadows, just from being from the drugstore, they're very pigmented. Next, I'm going to pick up my flat Eco Tools brush. And I'm going to be mixing two colors. So I'm going to use this one right here and this like light white pinky shimmery color. I'm going to mix those two and apply those on my lid. I'm also going to spray my brush with a little bit of Maybelline Master Fix setting spray. You can use eye drops. You can use any setting spray. This is a good alternative to a Max Fix Plus because it's cheaper and it does the same thing. This is going to give your eyeshadows a really metallic, wet look, and I love doing this to all of my colors. So when you're applying your lid color, you want to make sure that you're using packing motions. Like packing, dabbing, you know what I mean? Like you just want to pack it, and dab it. Kind of like when you're using a blotting sheet on your face, you know what I mean? Like you're pressing it down because you want the most pigment to be like on your lid because you really want that to stand out. So I'm just going to really pack that in there. And it really helps to build up the color as well. And I want to focus this lid color just on the lid because I don't want to bring it up too much, because I want, like I said, the lid part to be the lightest and then the outer part of my eye to be the darkest. See, I'm just basically packing it. Packing, packing, packing. And that's how you get like that really vibrant lid color. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I did get a little bit of that white color like into my crease. So I'm going to take my blending brush with no product on it and I'm just going to blend out those edges because like I mentioned, I really want the crease to be dark and then I want the lid to be light. So when you blend it, you're just again doing those same windshield wiper motions back and forth to kind of clean everything up. Next, I'm going in with this crease brush by Eco Tools. You can see it's a blending brush, but it's a little too small to blend out your entire lid out. So I'm going to use this to focus product on the outer part of my crease. Picking up that brown color right here, I'm going to be using this on the outer part. And working with darker colors especially, you want to make sure that when you apply your brush into the product, you tap off the excess because you don't want too much at a time. Okay, so you're going to start in the outer part, kind of like right where the tape is. Right in the outer part, and you're going to kind of do really light strokes back and forth very lightly just until you can build that color up. You're going to bring it into the crease, but right into the middle of the crease. You see, you're not going to bring it past that because then it's just going to interfere with the lid color and it's going to be too dark, and we don't want that, especially not for like a neutral look. Obviously, you could leave the eyeshadow the way that it was, just like this, if you want something very neutral. But I like my eyes to look a little bit smoky. That's why I added that color in, but that's totally optional. And looking straight ahead helps a lot because you can see exactly where the socket of your eye is, which is your crease, and it makes it very easy to really control the product and see where you're applying it. Next, I'm taking my blending brush again with that soft brown color from earlier, and I'm going to apply that on the outer edge of where I have that darker eyeshadow. Not on the lid, not above like where my eyebrow is, right on the outer edge. And I'm going to use that to blend out that line so it doesn't look like a line, so it looks just very diffused and blended. Back and forth. I am going in the inner corner this time because I want everything to look really like, you know, blown out and smoky, but still very soft. Next, I'm using this like really tiny smudger brush by Equal Tools, and I'm going to use this color right here, which is like that white shade. And I'll apply that right to my brow bone. You see how pigmented that color is? I love it. Doing this really emphasizes the arch of your brows, and again, it just makes everything stand out a lot more. Now, the shade is beautiful, but you can see it looks very choppy. That white color. Going back into the same blending brush, I'm just going to take that and just blend it out. But very, very lightly. I'm like sweeping the brush onto my lid to help everything look blended. Of course. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back and give you guys some quick last minute tips and tricks for your shadow. Alright guys, I'm back. So I finished up the rest of my face makeup and everything. So the last thing I like to do typically, besides like my lip color and everything, is go ahead and go back into my eyeshadows and finish up my lower lashes. I like to do my concealer and everything before doing my lower lashes, because then I feel like it just kind of gets ruined. So it's like right underneath here. So I'm going to start off with my e.l.f. contour brush. As you can see, it's like a rounded, really small, precise brush. And I'm going to be picking up the brown color that we used earlier in the crease, and I'm going to smudge that on my lower lashes. You could totally just apply mascara and then, you know, be good to go, but personally, with my eyes and everything, I like to smudge eyeshadow on my lower lashes because I feel like the top looks so top heavy, and then if I have nothing on the bottom, it just doesn't look complete to me. But that's just my opinion. You can obviously feel free to do whatever suits your needs and whatever you like. So with eyeshadow like this, with this brush, I really like it because it kind of smudges the eyeshadow for you, so it like does the work for you. So I'm just gonna take this right on my lower lashes and kind of just blend that under there. I also do have fine lines, and like my concealer tends to crease a lot. It always happens no matter what concealer I use. So I feel like smudging that underneath my lower lashes kind of takes away a little bit from that, and it helps. Another tip is, especially if you have smaller eyes, try not to smudge your eyeshadow too much into the inner part of your eye, because then it can kind of close your eyes up a little bit. So try and keep the darker colors on the outer part of your eye and the lighter shades in the inner part. I actually almost forgot to highlight my inner corner. I like to do this like in the inner corner of my eyes because I think it opens everything up and it just makes your eyes look more awake and bright. So I'm going to be picking up this color right here that we used on the brow bone earlier. And the brush I'm going to be using is this one by Equal Tools. It's like that smudger brush, but I like to use it for the inner corner as well. Just gonna pop that right in there. Very neutral, perfect for every day because it's smoky, but it's not super dramatic, at least for me. Alright guys, so that does complete this eyeshadow for beginners video. I hope it was a little helpful. I know I'm not the best at explaining things, but I will put all the information and all the products that I use in the description box. And don't forget to check that out because I do have all of my frequently asked questions there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it till the very end, I know I can ramble a ton sometimes, but I really do appreciate you guys. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!